Well, you've met Moe Norman before, haven't you?
Oh God, yes, many times, Mr. Norman. Had the privilege of watching him do several clinics. The man is a savant, a one of a kind, and I was lucky to have been able to see him before he passed.
And your name is Don Smith, and you play on the Canadian Senior Tour?
I play on that in that event, yeah. I get to compete there and play in some of the nice spots around Canada. And last year we were in Capilano in BC, and this year we're in, where are we, Grand Prairie, Alberta. Had a lot of Americans, Europeans come in and play on it.
Okay, and you've had 2 holes-in-ones in your life, right?
2, yep. And about as far apart as you can get. A pitching wedge and a 4-wood.
Wow! And your brother here, your brother has how many holes in one?
13.
Including, you almost had one, so you hit one 4 inches by the pin. And
13 and a half, counting that one today.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because you couldn't tell if it went by the right side of the pin or the left side of the pin. It was so tight. Boy.
That would have ruined it really good too.
Well, now tell me, tell me a story about Moe Norman now.
Well, one of the truisms was that Moe repeated everything. He was a very unique man who never blended in on the professional tour, but some of the most famous tour players, Ben Hogan and many others, had the opportunity to play with him and said he was unique, one of a kind, and his method of striking the ball. But back in Canada at his home course, or one of the courses he played with, was Oakdale Golf and Country Club, and his playing competitor, partner, was a former PGA Tour who had won 7 or 8 events, George Knudson. But they didn't play and keep score, and either one of them really were a fan of putting. Their game was to, how many pins can you hit in a round of golf? They were really accurate.
Physically hitting pins?
Yeah, that was the game. I got more pins than you did, I win. Amazing.
How about distance? How about their distance control? I mean, he had it.
Well, at clinics, he would typically in the 70s, 80s, when he was still with us, he still would send a young man, a young boy out there with a shag bag, and when he was hitting balls, the young man would never have to take more than a step to his right or a step to his left. And if he was brave enough, why not just catch him with the bag? But he also would demonstrate his distance control and elevation control. So he'd hit a 9-iron 100 yards. And then he'd grab his 8-iron and hit it 100 yards. And he would do that right through the bag, right through the 3-wood and fairway woods, 100 yards. He knew how to hit that. And then he also believed in the theory that it was important to be able to play like an elevator or an apartment building, to play shots at different elevations depending on the circumstances. And he would do the same thing. He'd take a 6-iron and play it at 30 feet high, 40 feet high, 50 feet high, 60 feet high, and hit them all the same distance. Just amazing to watch.
Wow.